Now to a country still fighting to establish its own rule and order. Many countries have joined together to help secure Afghanistan, but now for the first time, the BBC can reveal the hidden role of Arab troops in the US-led coalition there. Largely unseen, soldiers from the United Arab Emirates have been working alongside the Americans and are the only Arab troops undertaking full-scale operations there without their countrymen even knowing about it. The BBC's security correspondent, Frank Gardner, has been given exclusive access and reports now on an Arab mission in Afghanistan.
It's an unusual way to arrive in Afghanistan, carried to my wheelchair from a C-130 Air Force transport. 4 years after my crippling injuries, I've returned to Bagram Air Base to see how an Arab army is trying to win hearts and minds where others have failed. It could be any coalition patrol anywhere in Afghanistan. Wary of ambush, alert for roadside bombs. But these are not Americans, nor are they from NATO. They're troops from the United Arab Emirates, and they've come to this village to hand out gifts and discuss what projects need building. As fellow Muslims, they get a warm reception.
At first, I thought they were American soldiers, and I wanted them to leave. But when they said they were Muslims, I knew they were our brothers.
The Arab troops come in our country, in our village. We are very happy.
Of course, these aren't the only coalition troops giving out aid to Afghans. But what's really winning hearts and minds is the Islamic connection. Unlike most Western military officers, Major Ghanem has spent over 2 years getting to know these villagers. Handing out humanitarian aid in Afghanistan is not as easy as it sounds. As the crowd builds up, rumour spreads there's not enough to go round. The Afghan police wade in, making matters worse. More than once, Major Ghanem has to restrain people. Without sensitive handling, the situation could easily descend into a riot. There's even a scramble for the empty cardboard boxes. But eventually the Arab troops manage to restore order and they leave without a shot being fired. The patrol returns safely to base, but they are sometimes attacked by insurgents, and down in Helmand province they've had to fight their way out of Taliban ambushes. It's going to come as a surprise to most people that for the last 5 years an Arab Muslim army has been discreetly operating here in Afghanistan alongside the Americans as part of the coalition. So I asked one of their officers whether he was worried how some people in the Arab world might react to this.
We have answer for that. Even he asked from back on the UAE or in the Gulf, or he asking here. We have the same answer. We make a contract with the US Army to help the people down here, not to fight.
So in a way, do you see yourselves as a kind of bridge between the Afghan people and the rest of the coalition?
Yes, yes, of course. And we trying to build a good relationship also between the government and the people.
As a former UAE resident myself, I've been given unprecedented access to their operations, including this briefing. We've been asked not to show their faces in case of reprisals by extremists back in the Gulf. Another day, another mission, this time taking VIPs from the Gulf to open a multi-million-dollar university in the troubled province of Khost. The town has recently been attacked by suicide bombers, so US and Emirati troops were sent in advance to secure the site.
Everybody will tell you that the one thing they're very proud of in Khost is the university. This university, the people of Khost has a higher level of education in the region, and they do understand the importance of this university. Almost everybody fought for this university to bring the university first here, and now with the nice buildings, they're very proud of it.
Back in Kabul, the Emiratis take us to see another of their humanitarian projects, an orphanage they've helped to fund. Many of these children's parents were killed by landmines, left over from 3 decades of war. Fatima Gilani has returned to Afghanistan after once being the spokeswoman for the Afghan Mujahideen in the 1980s.
I'm not saying that I'm not grateful for the help I get from all the national societies in the Western world. I'm extremely grateful to all. and among them the British Red Cross. But what comes for the people of Afghanistan from our Muslim brothers and sisters, it does have a special feeling.
The man who kick-started the Arab humanitarian effort in Afghanistan is Sheikh Hamid al-Shamsi, here visiting a UAE-funded mosque. A devout Muslim and a former fighter pilot, he's been traveling all over Afghanistan, often at great personal risk.
If we are visiting like this village and we done some service for them, the collision will be known when they are approaching that there is somebody from their side that's coming here and done something for this village. So the relations will be easier than if they come directly with no first approach.
Sheikh Hamid often has to dampen local expectations. Here the villagers are now asking for a school before the mosque is finished. He asks them to be patient, reminding them that many other villages do not yet even have a mosque. The small number of Arab troops in Afghanistan is having a positive effect. The Emirati approach is to meet the religious needs first, then build schools and clinics later. But for this to have a lasting national effect, the blueprint will need to be repeated and expanded by others many times over. Frank Gardner, BBC News, Afghanistan.
An unexpected story.